Hello.
Hi, beautiful. Look at you.
How are you?
And fantastic. How are you doing?
Amazing, to be honest. It's been a good week.
It's been a good week. It's been a trying week for me, but every time it's trying, it's always a good thing because we're always learning, right?
Exactly. That is so one of the posts that I had today was make sure that every stepping stone on your on your path to your goal is actually a stone that you pick up and you learn a lesson from. So there we go.
There it is. See, we're always in sync when we're talking, right? So we're just waiting for more people to join. I see them coming in. I'm waving at people. I'll
Hi.
do it.
Someone just joined us once again. How you been doing apart from being busy?
I've been doing great. I mean, it's just been overwhelmingly wonderful. I'm getting an opportunity now. I've been speaking with people all around the world,
Oh,
just speaking with people, meeting people all around the world. Hey, Robyn, my friend Robyn just came on. Invite your friends and followers, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And so I just been talking with people around the world and just, I love people, I love cultures, and it's just the conversation and the dialogue and to find out what's happening around the world and what people are thinking and how they're feeling is so enlightening to me.
yeah. And the fact that you're just asking how you doing might be enough for that person to actually feel that their wings are spreading once again. Because
Exactly.
aside from the fact that we have the possibility to connect and to talk, others don't. So that really warms my heart that you just call them and say, how you doing? Because at times, this is the only thing that people sometimes need when they're social distancing.
Exactly. And then, we're talking about International Shades of Beauty and we're talking about Project Cultivate, which is our community service project that we're doing with International Shades of Beauty this year. And so, just talking about what's happening in other countries as far as social distancing in the wake of COVID, it's really interesting. So we get into this great dialogue about what their countries are doing and even in their regions compared to what we're doing here in the United States. So it's
Yeah.
always an interesting conversation. So yeah, it's exciting for me. Yes. Yes. International has always been my passion and I
Yay.
love it. So, sometimes we got to get up early in the morning to get those early calls because of the time differences and so on. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
Speaking of International Shades of Beauty, thank God for makeup. Because sometimes you just gotta slap on a face at 2 a.m. and pretend that it's day. This is international life for you.
It's absolutely right. Absolutely. And especially, now with all the Zoom and we can do FaceTime meetings and things like that. You're absolutely right. We can throw on some makeup and look okay from the waist up. from the waist up. I still have not mastered how to put on eyelashes yet. I have not mastered that.
You know what? The whole thing with eyelashes is you can't even see them on video unless you have like a real big close up, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter anyway. So I should give up because I promise you, I said, I should try to put some eyelashes on today. And I tried to put them on and they were up here. And then I think I put too much of the glue stuff on. So I couldn't get I said, what are you doing? Just forget it.
You're beautiful.
Just forget it. And how are things in Canada?
You know what? I don't know because I'm on the international market right now. I'm laughing to everyone that I speak to that thank God we're doing this social distancing in this time and age and day, because had it not been for Wi-Fi, computers, smartphones, I'd be stuck. So just yesterday, I became an international best-selling author in India.
Oh, congratulations!
At a launch of a book there. So, how's Canada? I don't know. I was in India yesterday. Last week I had a mastermind with an amazing woman. She's extremely smart, and so I was in Mumbai because that's where she's from, and then last week I was in Scotland because I had another mastermind online with someone.
Wow,
Oh,
that is
thank
awesome.
you. Inspiring decisions. So I feel that I'm everywhere
You're
just because
everywhere.
I have the possibility to connect with Wi-Fi.
That is awesome. I am super excited for you. That is amazing. Hopefully, Malva will come back in and join us. We're so honored to be able to have her today. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, remember, invite your followers, invite your friends. I was trying to hold off so that more people could come on, but we got to get started because time is of the essence. But today we have Malva Gasowski. She's coming on. She's requesting to join. So let's get her on here. We are so fortunate to have her. She's from Toronto, Canada. She wears many hats. She's an entrepreneur. There you are.
So sorry to know what happened. I was on a roll and talking.
I don't know. I was like, is it me again? I don't know if it's notification. I just turned everything off. I don't know.
So do I. But you know what? Everyone, like I said, everyone is on the internet right now. So this is just a cost that we have to incur sometimes.
It's a cost we have to pay, right? Because I said sometimes Instagram, I'm telling you, I don't think they want us to be great. But we just make it happen. So I was just introducing, I was telling everybody how honored and privileged we are to have you on today. You're from Toronto, Canada. I want to give them the background. And this is being recorded, of course, and we'll just post it so people can catch it anytime, day or night. So you're from Toronto, Canada. You are a wife. You're a mother. You're a successful entrepreneur. You have businesses. You're a best-selling author in India, as you just advised us, and I know other countries. You are phenomenal. You spend time all around the world. You are an international business trainer. You train businesses, hair salons in Australia and the UAE. And you are a parenting coach. You're a couples counselor. How do you do all these things? Tell us, how do you do all these things?
A lot of things, and it's not only me, but everyone. So everyone can be a lot of things and do a lot of different projects, but not at the same time. Okay, so that's the whole thing. And my motto of, human to human connection is most important. So make sure that you are connecting with people on a genuine level. Should it be your business partners, your family, or your friends? And then just do it one step at a time. You don't have to meet all your friends in the same day, right? You don't have to do all the laundry in the same day, and you don't have to answer all your emails in the same day. But if you go at it slowly, step by step, then you'll manage to do everything that you're passionate about. So whatever you said is true. I do all those things and more. Not everything in one day, but surely everything that I'm passionate about.
Awesome. So now, since this whole world has been affected by COVID, and I know that you're a couples counselor, you're a parent counselor, and you work with parents. What are you saying to them? Are you finding that there's a lot of anxiety because of COVID? Is it bringing tension in the home because everybody was at home for a while? Some countries and some cities, people are starting to go back out, to work and able to go back and enjoy restaurants and go outside, but it's still this caution and precaution that we have to take. So what are you saying to your parents and to the couples that you're counseling?
And foremost, I say don't sweat it, because that's what there was in the past a lot of unknown. We know more, but there's still a lot of things that are unknown. When will businesses reopen? When will schools reopen? When will we go back to quote unquote normal? But you don't have to do everything perfectly at the same time, and that is something that is relatable to not only my parents, so the parents that I work with, or the couples that I work with, or even people that I consult as a trainer or a coach, but it also deals with, for example, salons as well. Meaning, we're learning as we go along on this journey. Don't sweat it. Don't be anxious because something has to be perfect. No, do it to the best of your ability today, to the best of your ability now, and then you will for sure master it. So the educational system required decades even to be mastered to what beginning of 2020. So you can't expect both your children and yourself to master something that is something new.
In terms of businesses, you're talking about, and I know that you train and educate salons and salon owners. So let's talk a little bit about, in the wake of COVID, things changed for salons and things changed in the hair and beauty industry and in the fashion industry because people couldn't go out. People had to stay home.
Yeah.
And so with salons, they were shut down. Some are still shut down where I live in Pennsylvania. Some have never opened back up, reopened. And there's many things going on. There's financial impacts, there's just so many things that happen as a result of COVID. What will be your advice, or for those that you are coaching and mentoring on an international level? You can't fly to Australia right now. You can't fly to Dubai right now. But what are you saying to your clients about COVID, handling in the wake of COVID and the changes that are required to be made for them to open back up?
Well, because my line of expertise is actually the customer experience and making sure that the business is run from a managerial point of view as well. So at the very beginning, I had to deal with, let's say, emotional distress that the managers and the people had to work there. So I had to, tap into my psychology toolbox to actually work with them. So, making sure that the fears that they had for both their business and the future of their companies were actually settled. We came up with business plans and different ideas as to what they can do to actually not lose all of their revenue, because the perspective of when something will reopen was very limited to what. So again, like I said, customer experience is most important for me, which means that the moment the salon doors closed, that was not the moment that the customers stopped having the need to actually ask your services. So we came up with different plans on how to get the salon to the homes of people without contact, in order to give them still the care and the love and the pampering that these women were used to, without actually having to leave their home or invite someone in. So these were the tactics that, yes, it's true, they weren't bringing in as much revenue as they had before, but at least they were doing something. They felt that they had a new project in their hands that they could use to learn from, to make sure that they are pampering their customers, so the customers don't get lost or derailed to the competition post-COVID. So this was our main goal, to make sure that the customer is still connected with us through the experience that we as salons are giving them.
So you haven't missed a beat with COVID. So just because you can't get on a plane right now and travel to, the UAE or Australia or wherever your clients are, you quickly shifted and started just doing virtual coaching.
I had to pivot in 10 minutes. So the moment we heard that everything was closing, I had to, return my plane tickets and set up shop where I was at the time, because my customers were calling left, right, and center, and they needed the assistance that I was giving them. Not only my old customers, not old by age, but old by experience customers were with me, but I've really had a lot of new customers come and have sessions with me, because they too needed the coaching and the workshops that I have been providing on a regular basis, because more time on your hands is actually something that you can either waste or use. So I was trying to teach everyone, use this time to see and do all of the strategy things that you never had time for, or the standardizations that you never had time for, or all of the automizations that I kept telling you about. And you're like, yes, 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 Malva, I know, I'll do it later. This is the later. Do it now. So when your doors open, you're prepared with a fresh look, with something new. So these are the things that we were working on.
Oh, that's excellent. How exciting to be able to continue to help people in a whole nother forum. You know, some companies just couldn't get it fast enough, and some businesses couldn't get fast enough, and they just thought, oh my gosh, I should just give up. When virtual with technology is here, and for a lot of us, we can still continue to do our businesses in a successful way online in this virtual community, in this virtual environment. So, because let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that you do when you're speaking with your clients who are salon owners and managers, because I know you said your passion is really the customer experience. So for those people who are listening and watching, and for those of you who will be joining us, and you'll be really able to hear more about and see, let me just say, to see firsthand what Malva does. If you join us at International Shades of Beauty coming up in November, it's our virtual show, and you'll get to actually see and hear one of her sessions, and you'll really get a lot more information that you're going to get today. Today is just a little tease, because there's so much to her, and there's so much in her. We can't get it all out in this time that we have together today. So you're gonna have to join us. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss her. She's amazing. So let's talk a little. Let's talk a little bit about the customer experience and what you share with your clients who are salon owners. What is your perspective on the customer experience?
Well, beauty industry, the drug mart type, has gone and excelled in the last decade, which means giving a service as a premium brand or a premium salon is not enough now. Okay. In the past, going for trim and color was enough. Now, but I can get a trim and color around the corner. I can get a trim and color at my daughter's hands if I'm desperate. Okay. You see all these COVID hairstyles. So you are ever in the market for a salon experience, something that a salon owner or a manager should give you, because everywhere, what is the upsell of that service that the customer is looking for depends on what kind of salon you run. So the owners of the salons that I was and am consulting in Australia are fairly small. They're decent size for the US, but they're very small when it comes to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. But for example, the salon owners that I consult in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi have 150 hairdressers, right? So the management that goes behind there of the customers. And so how do we, as salon managers and owners, make sure that there's consistency, that there is quality, and that there is repetition in the service that we're excelling in? Because one of the most important things that we have to remember is that I don't care how good your first service is. If your second service is bad or not comparable to the first, you are going to lose that customer. Okay. So unfortunately, the customer is as good as the last service you had given them.
Wow. Awesome. So what, 150, I haven't been in a salon where there's 150 hairstylists or 150 employees. So I can only imagine the size. I've walked past some in New York City, but I have never been one or been a client in one. So yeah, talking about managing hairstylist and you're dealing with multiple personalities, because just dealing with three people or five people on the team, everybody has their own unique personality. And so as a leader, as a manager, you know, you have to take certain things into consideration. You know, some people don't like you to talk to them too early in the morning. It's too early. They got to have their coffee first. Some people, you know, they're morning people. They are so excited and animated in the morning. So those two personalities might clash. What are some of the skill sets? You know, I know you do training in HR and soft skills and things like that, but in terms of management, what are some of the things that you share with the salon owners and managers in terms of hiring people, what to look for? And I know each business is different. Some things are cultural, some things are geographic. I see you, Wendy. Excited and animated. I see you. I'm a morning person, so you best believe this is me in the morning. I'm usually like this all day, though. It's just my personality. But in terms of hiring for longevity, what's some of the things that you share with them, what to look for, or when they're hiring? Do you talk to them about hiring practices?
Of course. So one of the things that we need to remember is the people that work for you are the people that represent you and represent your brand. So you don't vibe, and I know that this is a very cliche word right now, but if you don't have this feeling that this person is the right fit, although it might look right on paper, it's not going to work. Okay. So again, people that you are hiring must actually be the product face of your brand and of the idea that you are trying to sell, that you are trying to portray towards your customers. So if you are, for example, a small boutique salon and you are going to hire a very loud hairstylist who is used to the flashes and the red carpets and being on shows and being sent to training sessions every week, I'm sorry, but that person, although very well qualified, will not be the right fit for a boutique salon, because this salon is giving a different experience to the worker than, let's say, a flashy center, New York City, reputable, huge salon hiring, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 stylists, where for them, the top of the line is being trained to the best and the newest fashion show designer trends, right? So again, you have to make sure that the people that are representing you are actually going to represent the idea that you have. So that's one thing when it comes to hiring. When it comes to managing, you have to have a lot of skill. It seems that, you know, this is just a salon. Well, no, the moment you're hiring people to represent you and service your customers, and customers are gold, trust me, we have to make sure that they are taken care of. As soon as you're hiring people to represent you and your business, you have to make sure that you know your people skills, you know your time management skills, you know your quantity skills, you know your math, you need your conflict management skills as well. And you know how to share your vision. Because if you don't know how to do that, then the people don't know what to represent. So there are a lot of things that actually go into the workshops that I conduct with the salon owners and managers, because being a salon owner and manager is a very difficult job. Sometimes we underestimate it. And my whole idea with the workshops that I conduct is don't underestimate the manager. If you don't have the correct person in that position, your whole business is going to suffer.
I agree 100%. Wow. So do you admonish managers to have new employee orientation programs so that when new staff are coming on, that they can understand what the vision is of the salon, what the mission is of the salon, and what those policies and procedures, just basic protocol, what the expectations are? Do you help them create training programs for new employees?
Yes, so we do onboard training or onboard creation, because the training, we try to make sure that the people that are there are actually doing that. So onboard training, procedures, standardization, and thank you for the love. I see all these hearts flying. And so the standardization.
Okay. Do you also admonish them to and encourage them to have an employee manual or something that the employee, nowadays things are online. So if they have an intranet, they can go right online and figure out, hey, I called up twice, I was sick, what's going to happen to me?
You know what? Nowadays with technology, I actually set up online courses for the vendors on board. So, it's quite easy. Everything has to be on paper. If something as simple as your vision and your goal, which you know what is, should be on paper for you personally, then it definitely needs to be on paper for someone else. So, I also create courses that are online courses where people actually go there and have like the salon experience protocols that they need to take into account, how to do something, to do different workshops and sessions and coaching sessions. So all these things are there and accessible for the managers should they choose to, let's say, purchase something like that for their staff. Because why would I, let's say, as a manager, waste time showing the same people not going to stay? So what happens a lot of the time on board are like the first step before we want to make sure that that person can actually cooperate and work within that team. So if I spend and devote so much time and raise money, for example, so resources in general, on making sure that the person that I am supposedly going to hire is a great fit and is trained well, so that person grasps what I want, and then I don't hire that person because that person is not a good fit, then that is my wasted time and my wasted money. So let's do the first onboarding session online, just to say, okay, this is what it is, and then you'll get the end result. Is that person witty enough or fast enough in order to actually catch all of the nuances that I expect and experience that I want to give to my customers? And then, it's automated. So right now life is so much easier. In the past, I had to go with a book and, teach these people there. Now I just press click and they got everything. So
yes,
it's amazing. And, for all of you people that are listening, you're a salon worker, salon manager, salon owner, or aspiring to be one of them three, make sure that you look into things that actually will make your life easier, because if you save time, you will free your resources to actually make money.
Oh, that's great. That's great advice. How do you feel about personality tests? I know I worked in corporate America for years, and in some positions they require you to take a personality test to see if you're a good fit, or even for the manager that you would be working with to see how you would, as the word you use, vibe. How do you feel about doing those?
You know what? I do them in the corporate world. So the 360 degrees assessments when you're already there, or personality tests, like you said. But the problem with personality tests, I find now, is that people are more witty than they used to be, which means they know what is the right answer to choose. They just don't behave that way in a given situation. So there's a big difference and a big gap between what I know I should do versus what I actually do, versus how I react in emotional situations. So yes, personality tests can be hijacked, and at times they actually will give you a distorted picture of the people who are actually working in stressful environments. And a salon, although should be relaxing for the customer, is at times stressful for the service giver.
Right. Great point. Thank you for all of you who are just still coming in and joining us. I'm going to take a pause right here. I am Dr. Robyn Joppi, and you are joining us on Instagram at Sunday Live with Dr. Robyn. And my honored guest, I'm so happy that she is here. She's just dropping knowledge, just dropping so much knowledge. Malva Gasowski, did I say it right? Because you know I can mess a name.
Of course.
Right? God, I was practicing. So happy to have her here. She is amazing. She will be joining us November 6th and 7th at International Shades of Beauty virtual. You don't even have to leave your home. All you have to do is, she said, click, sign in and click, and you will be part of the experience. International Shades of Beauty virtual 2020 hair, beauty, and wellness trade show. And we're having something for everyone. Your hair is gorgeous. Look at it. I'm trying to curl, trying to curl and everything. I need some color. I'm in need of everything. I want the customer experience. After listening to you, I'm like, I can't wait to hear more about this customer experience, because I want to find out if I'm getting the short end of the stick at the salon I go to. I want to know. But anyway, hi, Delisa, my love. Delisa is in Toronto, Canada, too. It's my niece that's joined us just now. And her baby girl, I need to connect you to her little baby girl, will be turning 1 year old very soon, September 4th. Hi, Delisa. When is Tony's birthday? Is it September 4th or 5th? I know I'm close. Anyway.
Watch it be January.
I know it's early on. Delisa, when is it? She's probably trying to type it. But September 1st. I was off. For some reason, I thought it was the 4th. Okay, she came early. All right, September 1st. Anyway, her baby girl, and she's already walking. She was walking at 9 months old, so we're excited. Cute little thing. But anyway, let's get back to the conversation. So, in the wake of COVID, you know, with everything that's going on, and we know that generally some salons, and maybe the ones you deal with in some of these big salons, they don't have turnover like the smaller ones do. The ones where I live, there's turnover. You know, you can go in and people are there, then they just disappear. They don't come back. There's the conflicts that go on in terms of, you know, what they pay, what they get. So what is your advice? You know, we talked about the customer experience. We talked about the value of the manager. The manager can make or break your business. We know that. So how do you keep good employees or talented employees? How do you keep them for 5 years, for 6 years? Because some of these salons, they turn over employees like 4 months, 6 months, people are gone, they don't stay. So what's your advice?
Love.
So,
I always say, if you love your job, if you love the people that you work with, if you love the environment that you have, you're going to stay. Because all increase in pay is not going to give you that atmosphere of positivity that this manager, like you said, will make or break the business. So if your manager is creating care, love, attention to the workers as well, this is actually gold, because if you are an experienced salon worker, you know that having a good manager is very difficult. So if you as an owner hire a good manager, that manager will actually keep your people happy. And it's not only about money. Right? So a lot of the times there are headhunters that I had to fend off and say, you know what, Shu, you don't need to be here. And a lot of the people are like, you know what? The managers that we're working with, you train so well. If someone gave me the opportunity to go pay raise, I would not go, because I don't know what I'm here. So again, if there's anything that I can say, make sure that there is love and positivity within the salon. That will reflect on people staying as opposed to having a turnover. What is more, your customers will actually see that and feel that. So if there's tension, make sure you get rid of it. If there's conflict, make sure you get rid of it. Not get rid of the people, but get rid of the conflict by finding solutions. So that is crucial. Maybe there's a positive atmosphere within the company, between the people and in the building, and both customers and people will who work there will want to stay.
So what's some of your approaches? And I know every situation is an individual situation, but basically, what is your approach to conflict management? If there's a conflict, give me an example, or give us an example of an approach that you use, or advice that you've given to a client on how to resolve an issue with employees.
Well, most issues with employees happen because of resentment that is bottled up and then it explodes. So prevention, as opposed to, extinguishing the fire. So I always say, make sure that you are talking to the people and having open communication.
And have communication with the employees, and then we lost you after that. You froze up. So what did you say after that?
Okay, so
after you have communication with
just to rephrase, it's easier to prevent than to actually put out the fires. So open communication, and not after you see symptoms, but even before there arrive. So make sure, rule number one, make sure that you grab a cup of coffee once every few days with each employee separately. Hey, just wanted to grab a coffee. How are you? What's going on? Is there anything I need to know that, I'm maybe too busy to see? So just chit chat. There's so much more that can be done over casual coffee as opposed to official conference room meetings.
How do you feel about rewards and bonuses? Not everybody can afford to, it just depends on where you are in the world in your salon. Maybe they don't always have money as a means, especially if you have a lot of employees. So what's your advice to, do you think money is a motivator in terms of bonuses, or to get people to perform? Or are there other things that can be used to let employees know, hey, I care about you, I appreciate you, I'm so glad you're here? What are some of those things that you advise?
I have a whole one-day workshop session on actually intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and one of the factors is finances. So finances is one. Just like, let's say, having a nice physique, not eating sugar is just one of the steps. So financial benefits or motivation is just one of the steps. And to be honest, there are times where actually finances can damage your intrinsic motivation. So it's better not to give money, but give something else. But like I said, I have a whole day, so it's quite difficult to just kind of make that into one sentence, apart from make sure you understand human psychology of what is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and how that applies according to recent science into actually people's willingness to work and stay.
Okay, so like I told you all, she is a walking encyclopedia of information on business and how to run a business effectively, being successful, especially salons and barbershops, and I would even go to say wellness businesses, because it all can come together, just business in general. But you've been able to create a package, if you will, and a training program, education program specifically for salons, for salon owners. And that's one of the many reasons why I was so super excited to be introduced to you, and to be able to have you join us on the platform in November, because of your knowledge base and your experience and what you bring. Just what you shared today is like, wow. I was listening to you, but I was taking my notes.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, I'm taking my notes as well, because when I go to the salon, I go tomorrow, Monday, I'm gonna be talking to the salon owner. She needs to connect with you, But just sharing the knowledge that you shared today is just the start to helping to improve businesses. And I know longevity is key. I know, I've been to several salons where I live, and you go and it's different people. I've changed salons because of the customer experience. I'll say that. Some of the things that I just didn't like, I thought it was very unprofessional. And I didn't feel like I deserved it, or needed to be in that type of environment. And so I think in this day and age, when people are the salon owners, some of them are still struggling to get their businesses back open. And as you said, just because your business isn't open doesn't mean you still can't communicate with your clientele. Perhaps you know everybody's hair, the people who work with you, the hairstylists that have their own customer base, knows their clients' hair. And so maybe they could put together packages and, tell them buy this, 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 and this to take care of your hair until you can come back to me and I could get it back to perfection. But in the interim, this is what you can do. Just tips on how to maintain the hair at home. Like you said, maybe a daughter could do the hair, or a sister or somebody at home can do it, and do the eyebrows and everything else that we got going on that matter to us, those of us who are vain. But and the not so vain, we just want to look human, right? And presentable,
But
right?
that's the thing. I had a conversation because, okay, I'm a girly girl. So those of you that haven't noticed, I've got curly hair, I got a full makeup, I've got my nails, I've got my pink jacket, because I'm a girly girl. So having said that, the first thing that I do when I wake up is I go and make myself a cup of coffee, make my children breakfast, and then I go upstairs and I make sure that I'm presentable. And then I go and give a cup of coffee to my husband. Now, it's not because I have low self-esteem, or because I have some complexes when it comes to either my body or my face. No, but I feel, and this is exactly the conversation that I had a few days ago, I feel that the fact that you like makeup has nothing to do with being vain or low self-esteem. The fact that you like makeup, it's just like an artist, or it's just like a cashmere sweater. You may not need it, but you may want it. Mm-hmm. And just like a canvas is empty for a painter, and then he will make a beautiful picture, just like a canvas is on my face, and I'm happy to, for example, I feel like a red lip today, or I feel like, cat eye today. And that actually shows the mood that I'm in, which is amazing to have that possibility as a woman. Because like we said at the beginning of this video, even if we're tired, we can still make it work and pull it off. Whereas some men who don't wear makeup don't have that privilege. So again, having nails done, hair done is not being vain. It's just being, like I call it, mindful me.
Right. I love it. And for the guys, I see there's some guys that's joined us. They going to the barbershop. Barbering is a big thing now, with the beards and all the products that are coming out for the sideburns and the beards for men. I'm seeing a lot of men now sporting these beards, and a lot of them are well groomed. They look great. So men go, they want the haircut, some, but there's a market for barbering out there.
So gentlemen, if you're listening to this, us ladies really like a man who takes care of himself, okay? So yes, go get your mask, get your peeling, get your scrub, get your sideburns, fixed and trimmed, and take care of your whole body, not just the hair on your head. Trust me, the women like that.
And she's an expert. Our time is coming to an end, and I just could stay here and talk to you forever. So before we leave, we have a few more minutes. Before we leave, tell us briefly, what will you be talking about at International Shades of Beauty in November, our virtual show? Just give us 3 things, if you can, what you'll be talking about.
Can I do 5?
You can do 5. You have time to do 5.
All right. Just like every single person knows, the more you give in your customer experience that is thought through and is a process, it's going to be more difficult for other people to actually copy that. Okay? Imagine this. Have you ever walked past a man or a woman, and you're like, oh my goodness, he reminds me of, just by the smell, or just by the look, or just by the presence, right?
Right.
And that is exactly what you want your customer to have the moment they walk into the door of your salon, or the moment they pick up something that reminds them of your salon. And the only reason to actually have achieved that is to use the five senses in your salon. So the reason why I said five is because we have five fingers and we need to exploit the five senses in our salon management in order to actually create the customer experience. So these are the five things that I'll be talking about.
Oh, wow. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to it. Anything else you want to share about yourself? Again, tell us about your book so we can go buy your book that you just released. And
Oh,
yeah, that became a bestseller. So tell us, one, how can we get the book? And two, for salon owners who are on here and would love to reach out to you and get you to maybe be a consultant for them, or pick your brain, but have you help them? Tell us how to reach you. How can we reach you?
thank you so very much. So I try to make it easy for my customers. So if you hashtag Malva Gasowski on Google, you'll be able to look me up, or hashtag actually allow you to get in contact with me, and I will be very happy to help you. So like you said before, I am a business consultant, business trainer, and business coach, and that is where I help with the salons. But I am also a couples counselor and a parenting coach, where I use my psychology and sociology to help others. But bringing those two fields of expertise is actually the key to making any business, in my opinion, successful. So that is where that came from. And I would really like to connect with everyone that is listening, if not for business, then for friendship, because if they're your friend, I'm sure they'll be my friend as well, because I love your energy and I love how you present yourself. So thank you once again for having me. And as for the books, so I had written 2 books, and this is a COVID situation for me. I have written 2 books that became international bestsellers, both of them within 1 week in 5 countries.
You're incredible.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come here.
Well, I am. Thank you.
Yes.
Super pleased. I'm super pleased to have been able to cooperate with other ladies because these are books written by women. These are collaborative books, which means everyone was able to pitch in. And we actually are helping people find their purpose and their why and their motivation to actually win against all odds, meaning the exact same thing what I try to teach the salon owners, which means you have to know what is your vision and make sure that you find it and go after it against all odds. So these are the 2 books that I have co-authored, and I am very happy to share that story with you guys later on if you want to. But because this is the shade of beauty, one of the most important things that I want you to remember, all of you, is that your beauty shines through, but it has to come from within and having a good heart. And so Dr. Robyn is exactly that person, because she is doing an International Shades of Beauty training expo in November, not only for vanity, but for the goodness of the heart and helping others.
Right. That's right. I am overwhelmed with gratitude. I am just so happy to have had you join me today. As I said, you are a wealth of information and knowledge, and I love those nuggets that you dropped today. For everyone who was on live with us, and for those who will catch the replay of this, they will truly be blessed by the wisdom that you gave. And so for those who are wanting more, like I'm wanting more, you'll have to join us. You'll have to register today at internationalshadesofbeauty.com, and you will be able to sign up for Malva's class. Her session is going to be phenomenal. You got a taste of it today. What more can I say? International bestseller in 5 countries in a week. How does that happen? And so we want to bring you the creme de la creme. That's what we aim to do. International Shades of Beauty is based on 3 pillars. Education. You got a taste of education today. She's one of many of the educators that we are having come to the platform. We have inspirational speakers, stories of people who have overcome in the hair and beauty industry that will rock your world and pull at the strings of your heart to see what the journey has brought them and where they are today. Phenomenal people. So we have the educators, we have inspirational speakers, we have expert panelists who will be there. Malva will be on one of our expert panels. We have them. We want to bring the experts to answer all of your questions. And I know you have them. I always say, I have an inquiring mind. I want to know. So I'm always asking questions. And I know you'll want to ask questions too. We even have a millennial panel. Millennial entrepreneurs, they are our future. So cliche say the children are our future, but they really are. And so we have some phenomenal entrepreneurs who will be joining us in an expert panel. They're going to be on an expert panel. They have their own product lines. They run their own businesses. The youngest is 15 years old. So if you know of anybody, any young entrepreneurs, you may have children, you may have nieces, nephews, friends, neighbors who are very gifted and talented and have a desire and passion, you'll want them to come and see, be inspired by these young people. So the first pillar is education. We're doing that. The second is integrity. I don't care what your business is. I don't care what relationships you may form. If integrity is not at the core and foundation, it's never going to last. So we talk about integrity in business, right? And the third one is economic development for empowerment. I travel all around the world. I used to be able to fly there, but now we do it virtually. And Malva's no different. She had meetings in every country. She was in every country, many countries last week. And that's what I do on a daily basis. But my thing is, when I was able to travel around the world, I met so many inspiring people, women especially, who created products. And as I always say, those products more than likely will never be at Sephora or never be at Ulta or never be at Neiman Marcus or any of our, department stores, because we know that it takes resources, human resources and financial resources. So at International Shades of Beauty, we want to give people the information from those who have done it and were successful. How do you get your business from a concept to a product that's on a shelf somewhere, or you're selling it from your website? We're going to be talking, so you don't want to miss that. We can have virtual vendors and exhibitors. You don't have to pack your stuff up, put it in the car, or take it to the airport and fly, get it to the hotel, break it down, set it up, and then do the reverse when it's time to bring it back home. You can have your little area from wherever, in your studio, in your home, and you can vend or exhibit your products internationally, globally. You have people from all around the world that will be watching.